Hi everyone, and welcome to the Flatlanders RV Travels. Today we are going to share with you our time at the Thomson Causeway Recreation Area Campground in Thomson, Illinois. We are going to show you a little bit of the Great River Trail, and we're going to show you the Lock and Dam number 13 along the Mississippi River. We're also going to show you a windmill that came from the Netherlands along with the Windmill Cultural Center. And also we're going to share with you the Heritage Canyon, which is a remnant of the past. It's an 1800s village, and that is located in Fulton, Illinois. So sit back and relax, and we hope you enjoy the video. Our last video was the campground tour for the Thomson Causeway Campground. So I will put a link in the description below for that video. If you missed it, you can go back and take a look and see how nice this campground is. And it is an Army Corps of Engineer park. So here we are with our friends and my sister and brother-in-law, and we are headed to the Great River Trail, where you can hike and bike or walk. It's a 62-mile Mississippi River experience that is from Savannah, Illinois to Rock Island, Illinois. And this trail was a very nice trail. It was paved with some stopping points along the way. And the Great River Trail is one of many partners making up the 475-mile Grand Illinois Trail. This lengthy trail extends from the shores of the Mississippi River to the beaches of Lake Michigan and loops around northern Illinois, offering outstanding vistas of both metropolitan and rural settings. So at this stop sign coming up here, we're going to go to the right. And now we're on Lock Road, heading towards Lock and Dam 13. And coming up on the left-hand side, there is a picnic pavilion that we stopped at. And I want to say we probably rode about 6 to 7 miles to get to that point. And now we're just going to continue on going to Lock and Dam 13. And you can take a look at that. It was perfect timing. There was a fairly large barge that was locking through at the time that we got there. So we're going to start making our way back to the campgrounds. This trail was really a pretty nice trail. For the most part, it's relatively flat. There is some slight inclines where you can tell you're definitely going uphill, and then when you're going downhill. But it was overall a pretty nice trail. And you're going to see coming up here in the video where the access to the trail is from the campgrounds, which is located just outside of the gatehouse area. Like I said, the trail kind of runs through the campgrounds. They have this tool, this stand, which I thought is pretty nice in case you're having some bike problems. It's that stand in the red stand right there, straight ahead. They have all these little different tools and something that can help you out with your bike.
just gained a few more people, so come on in. You can maybe add one other seat, or you can just stay in.
That's okay.
Or you can look outside. I think Barb is outside that you can too. But I'll give you the basics of how we do the grinding. But before that, I guess one point of interest I usually point out is this dark reddish brown wood that you see are the main structural beams. It's an octagonal shape, and those structural beams are mortise intended, which means this cross beam has a hole in it, and then this has a point to it that fits in, and then you wood peg. A lot of the old barns in the Midwest were made the same way. He's shaking his head, yes. And that way they're easily taken apart too. You pull the pegs. And that's what happened. They structured it, made it in the Netherlands, and then pulled the pegs, took it all apart. But before they did that, they marked each one. So behind you, sir, there's an 8 somewhere. Oh, yeah. Yes. And then it's into the other side bar. That's an 8. So they put it together. And we kind of tease each other and say, well, we got it over here and said, oh, it's like Tinker Toys, guys. You put it together. And we said, no. You put it together. You're the millwrights. So they reconstructed it and finished it in 2000. So it's only 22 years old. It's really not an old antique mill. The Dutch are no longer exporting their old mills. It's their heritage. Actually, it's their tourism because people go over there to see the mills. Oh, right. And they don't have many left, probably 1,000, and they used to have 10,000. So they don't have that many left. But how this works then is if we had to break off, we don't right now, but if we had to break off, the sails would be turning. Now this is the wind shaft. Now remember, we're way up at the top of the mill. This is a cast iron wind shaft that goes through to the outside, our sails that would be turning, if the wind were strong enough. So if the sails were turning, then this wind shaft would be rotating also. And then this big gear would also be rotating at the same rate, at the same revolution. Now when I say big, I literally would say big because this gear is as big as this gear above your head. Oh. But it's at the top of the mill and it's upright. It's vertical. You know, it's upright, whereas this one's laying horizontal. So these are all wooden cogs. They're individual cogs, so if a couple break off, you just replace the cogs. You don't have to replace the whole wheel, which we've had to do before. So this is rotating, it gears into the smaller gear called the wallower. This is the brake wheel because it has an exterior shoe brake on it. There's 5 of these linked together, and they're connected to a big beam right here below the picture. And that beam's weight is pulled down by gravity. It pulls all those brake shoes around and hugs the brake wheel. So the brake wheel is stopped because those brake shoes are hugging it tight. If we take this big beam down here and lift it up and put it on the sidebar, so the weight's not pulling down, then these all back up. And there's a little gap in here.
Yeah. The cap is up there. Like the top of your head, the cap. That has this, has the sails, it has the mechanical part that you saw on the television. That's up there. And when you put that on last, 27 tons. It was delicate, but we got it on and it works. So, anyway, we turn. How do we turn this? It's wood on wood up there. It doesn't have ball bearings, so we have to use sheep fat to lubricate it. We don't have any WD-40 in this thing. We have sheep fat, lanolin, and beeswax. Those are the only things we use. So how do we do this? Well, first we have to break. Remember on the television you saw that big wheel and the one corner, if she didn't see it, there was a clamp on it? That's a brake. And there were other brakes on it. First we have to take the brake off so things will work. And so this wire here connected there, that you see the box up there, we can unhook that and we can move that pole, and that helps loosening the brakes. Believe it or not, it's fairly simple. It looks hard, but it isn't. So we take that off, then we it tightens up.
Oh, the pulley over there.
This wire, and it can move it. So we can pull it, turn it so that we want it to go this wheel, we wanted to turn it to go this way so that the sails will come around this way. I know that sounds silly, but that's the way it works. Originally, we just had the white ones to do. It was still kind of hard for us, so we put in some extra ones to turn it. And now it's hard. It's still hard. So we have a machine that helps us move it around. And we tell them the provinces in the Netherlands, there's 12 of them, and they're like the states, and they all have their own flag. This flag, and the first flag over there are from the provinces where the people of Fulton are mainly from. The rest of them are just the other province. But we were settled originally by the Irish, and then the Dutch came. And why? This area looked a lot like the Netherlands. The windows that we have are also taken from the windmills in the Netherlands, and 22 years, no broken windows. I don't know if it's a glass, I don't know if it's a structure, but no broken windows. The design is called smock, and it's after the ladies' dresses. Tight at the top and then down, and the rain and snow comes off with this.
So you're going to see here that the Great River Trail runs right by the windmill. We could have rode our bikes there from the campgrounds, but we weren't quite sure how much farther we had to go that day. But anyway, be sure that you stop at this windmill if you're ever in Fulton, Illinois. It was very interesting and fascinating. The volunteers there are full of knowledge of this working mill. And be sure to sign the guest book when you go in there, because that's how they get funding to run the mill. So here we are at the Windmill Cultural Center, and all of these windmills in here were donated by Hank and June Halima, if I'm pronouncing that correct, and there they are right there. They toured throughout Europe to a lot of different windmills, and they came home and they made replicas of them, and they do actually, some of them work. So when we were done visiting the windmill and the cultural center, we went to Wierengas. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. We went to Wierenga's Heritage Canyon, and I'm going to show you. You park across the street to get to the canyon, and then you would go into that little hut, and be sure to sign the guest book for their funding purposes as well. And they do ask for a little bit of a donation. You would think this is somebody's house. They just ask for a little donation. Oh, careful. weren't hot prepared to go hiking in the woods, you're going to see us swatting the mosquitoes were really bad, so be sure you bring your bug spray.
Covered bridge.
Here, let me go first. I'll take your pictures coming through. Let me get...
The mosquitoes are pretty bad. Man, the mosquitoes are bad.
Get it. You don't know how to do it. You gotta take it off. No, maybe. This is a dentist?
Right next to the dentist, right next to the pocket. Good to that, tell them we want the original ice cream shop.
Here's another look of where we parked, an overlook of the Mississippi. And this was kind of neat, interesting to walk through. If you're looking for something to do, I would recommend doing it. We're just going to close this video out with a bunch of snapshots that I took while we were at the Thomson Causeway Recreation Area. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. And if you've already subscribed, well, thank you. We really appreciate your support. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching and happy camping.